Um, this is hopefully to be a part of a three-part video. I found some old videos, two more to support this one, and I'll put those two in the links. I'll put those links in the description. One goes into the history about why I started thinking about invisibility suits, and one goes into the very heart of what makes an invisibility suit a dual adaptive camouflage invisibility suit possible. It's the one-to-many correspondence is what I call it. And in these videos, I'm working with papers. I didn't have access to a computer, and I couldn't get the graphics, and I guess I didn't really think about doing it from my computer at that point. I just had papers, and they're sort of cruddy looking. But if you look at them, and if you follow along with what I'm saying, you'll get the gist. But start out to say Hollywood has a way of making everything sleek and sexy and slimy, I guess. If you think of I forgot the name, start with a T, trypophobia of the cells of this invisibility suit from the movie, the latest movie, Invisible Man. These are the optics from the movie, the top versus my optics, rotating aperture shell 3D pixel units that I had way before I saw the movie. And this shows how they rotate. They work in a fall where they May philosophy, which you'll hear about in the way I describe my invisibility suits in another video I'll have a link for on this page, like I said. My invisibility suit's going to have a hump on its back. It's not going to look sleek and sexy. A quote that I like to give these things is that we didn't get to the moon wearing spandex. We had big bulky astronaut suits that kept us alive, kept them alive. This is dual adaptive camouflage, my own idea. And if I can get the focus in, the cross-section of an invisible suit with puppet light interface inside, light going in, light going out. This is the puppet interface. It's adaptable to itself, its inner environment, as well as its environment. Outside of suit is also considered part of the environment. The outside, the arms, legs, the appendages, the whole body is considered the outside environment, along with the real outside environment, or the background outside environment. It's adaptable to its own interface. Light interface is what I call the object that you want to make invisible, but in a concentrated form. As long as it doesn't reach the level of the thickness of the wavelength being sent through the aperture or smaller, or else it becomes wavelength optics. This is purely dealing with light ray optics. And this is a paper mache model I made back around 2017 or 2018, and it got destroyed by mice eating the paste in the paper mache, but that's the compartment that would hold the light interface, which is what I call a puppet interface for an dual adaptive camouflage suit. And going back again to the Hollywood version, the invisibility suit from the Invisible Man movie 2020. It's sleek and sexy, I guess, a little bit freaky with the trypophobia of the many cells combined together and then also spinning around, which you can find a GIF for this online. Looks really weird and trippy and freaky and creepy. These might end up doing the same thing, my ideas, but there are practical means to achieve real invisibility suits with moving parts that all stay aligned together in the midst of ambient light reaching and being sent through the suit as it moves through its environment. And again, I had the rotating aperture shells, is what I call them, before I saw the movie, that somehow, just by coincidence, they had rotating whatever these optics are. I never really looked into the movie's explanations of the optics, if there is any. It just looks like something to make it a little bit more creepier. So this is dual adaptive camouflage. It's going to be in a bulky suit with a big old hump on its back. It's not going to be sleek and sexy. It's not going to be spandex. The guy's not going to look like a lizard with eyes all over him. Look more like a suit of armor. I'm trying to get this to focus in. It look more like a suit of armor. It has to be rigid. It can't be rubbery and it can't be fabricy. It has to be rigid to maintain the path of light going into and out of the shell of the body and through its light interface, puppet interface. So that's where my ideas in Hollywood differ in an extreme. That mine's going to be bulky and it's going to have a puppet interface. I've looked online. I've never seen anything about a puppet interface or any sort of concentrated volume. And the limit again is the limit of the wavelength of light. This deals with light field optics, my version of monofield light field optics that employs geometric optics, light ray optics. Below the threshold of the aperture of light for these pixel elements, the aperture shell itself, it would be wavelength optics, and that's where metamaterials come in. And metamaterials, I believe, are the alternate to geometric light ray light field solutions to invisibility and